So give me just a second to go live on my other platform. I am there. So good morning, everyone. It is Cassandra Terry, and today is Thankful Thursday. And on Thankful Thursday, you already know the topic of the day is gratitude. And we've talked about gratitude every Thursday for quite some time. So we've spent some time talking about what gratitude is, right? And the benefits of gratitude. And we'll cover that a little bit this morning. We will definitely talk about how to define gratitude, what it means. But really, I want to spend some time this morning talking about what it is not. Because as powerful as it is, as much research as there is that talks about the benefits of gratitude and how it is important to have that as a tool to uplift you, I also want to make sure we spend some time focused on what gratitude isn't, so that we don't get so focused on being grateful for whatever situation that we're in that we forget some things that need to accompany that. So that's what we'll do this morning: what gratitude is, what are the benefits of gratitude, and then most importantly spend some time talking about what it is not. All right. So the thoughts that I've got on this topic came from an article that I read yesterday in Forbes magazine, and it says why your gratitude journal could be doing more harm than good. And it was written by Greta Solomon back in 2019, the March 19th edition. So, I mean, when you're smart, one of even in social media, you want to have a topic that's going to grab people's attention, right? So this one definitely grabbed mine. Good morning, Mother. Why your gratitude journal, which is something that I so believe in, could be doing more harm than good. How about that for a topic that's going to make you stop scrolling for a second and see what they're talking about? So they get top billing from me. Kudos for a provocative title. Um, but we'll peel that back and we'll talk a little bit more about what that could possibly mean. It gave me quite a few thoughts that I wanted to share with you guys this morning. Is that Keisha? Good morning. I'm so glad you were able to join. All right. So, what is gratitude? In its simplest terms, the way I define it is it's just appreciating the good that's in our lives. It's focusing on more on what's good and what's positive, the things that are happening, than it is focused on what we don't have. So, gratitude is just appreciating, being aware of, and having that good, warm, fuzzy feeling about the goodness that is in your life. So that's what gratitude is. I don't think that's really anything that's earth shattering to anyone. That's one of those words that's been around, and we were taught to say please and thank you as little people. But gratitude is more than that, because thank you can just be, it can almost be on autopilot, like someone sneezes and you say bless you. You really are you really blessing them in that moment, or is that just kind of the autopilot signal response? Thank you can be that way too, but there's a lot more behind it when you don't just say it, but you actually feel and appreciate whatever it is that's going on around you. That elevates it to a space of gratitude. Gratitude is an emotion. Gratitude is a state of mind, a place of being, and gratitude can improve our well-being. And there's a lot of science behind it now. That talks about the benefits of gratitude. And the article that I mentioned, "Why Your Gratitude Journal Could Be Doing More Harm Than Good" by Greta Solomon in Forbes, it talks about that. It does cover some of the benefits of gratitude. And if you just Google gratitude benefits, so many things come up, and scientific information behind it, the different studies that they've done. I'm not going to go into all of that, but you can easily find it if you want to do a little bit more research and see, what's the big deal about this gratitude thing. One of the things that it talks about as a benefit is improved sleep. When you come from a mindset of gratitude and you're going through your day and you're focused on what's going well, and it actually keeps the endorphins and all those good hormones high, and you actually rest and sleep better at night. So it has been scientifically proven to improve your sleep. It also has been scientifically proven to boost your immune system. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but ever since COVID, it's hard. It's been harder for me to stay healthy. There's a little something that's going on all the time. So if something as simple as my mindset can help and boost my immune system, why not? I'd rather try it and prove them and it not work than not try it at all. It also deepens relationship, and it can help you to have the right focus in relationships, especially when things are a little rocky. All relationships hit rocky points at some point in time, but when you're in one of those difficult times, if you're more focused on that person and what you're grateful for in that person, if you're focused on what you're grateful for within your relationship with that person, it can allow you to ease to maneuver difficult situations a little bit easier. You can actually find yourself in a position where you're, I really don't like this person right now. I am so mad at them because of X. But in the over, if I look at our relationship overall, there is definitely more good than bad. I appreciate them for this, I appreciate them for that, and before you know it, your thought process about that person is different. You're feeling more positive than negative. It's lifting your mood. Gratitude is a great mood enhancer. It will lift your mood faster than just about anything you could imagine. There's proof that gratitude actually reduces our pain. It reduces pain. And that was the one study that I did want to share with y'all. There was a study that was done on women who have fibromyalgia. If you're familiar with fibromyalgia, there's a lot of inflammation in the body, and those women suffer from chronic pain all the time. And it's pain, it's moving pain. It could be in their joints, it could be here, it could be there, but there sometimes it's difficult to get out of bed, it's difficult to walk, it's difficult to just do the normal things in life because pain has become a normal part of their lives. So they took a group of women who were suffering with fibromyalgia, and some of them were given gratitude exercises. They had to journal about what they were grateful for. They would wake up and say three things that they were grateful for each day. They would do something similar at night, but they took them through different exercises that was promoting and enhancing and developing their relationship with gratitude. That was one part of the group in the study. The other group did not have the same. And what they found is the women who had the gratitude focus, their pain levels decreased. They actually reported that they did not feel as much pain. The pain was not as intense as it had been before. And so they started to study the brain of people who were practicing in gratitude. And they were actually able to track and see different areas of the brain. I think it was the prefrontal cortex that they talk about lighting up when you're going through gratitude. And what also would happen is your brain was releasing different hormones, and especially the feel-good hormones. It was releasing serotonin, and there was another one, I think it was dopamine. So those two hormones are known to be hormones in the body that give a natural feeling of pleasure, feeling good, relaxed, calm, happy. The brain produces those hormones, and that's some of the results. And when you are practicing gratitude, your brain is actually producing more of those hormones. And that in and of itself is part of the reason why quite a few of the things that we talked about already, improve sleep and all that, that's part of the reason why it happens. But to think that you feel less pain, that's powerful. We all experience pain at some point in time. And there are people in our lives, if not us, who have something going on, maybe a chronic illness like fibromyalgia. There's something going on. But if you can connect with that person and you can work with them and buy them a gratitude journal that has prompts in it that helps them to think every day about the things that are important to them, the things that they're grateful for, there's nothing negative that's going to come out of that. But if for just the moment it gives someone that you love some relief from their pain, or it helps them to sleep better, it deepens your relationship, why not? That's one of those things. For very little, you could potentially have great benefits. And so gratitude is more than just a feeling, but it's actually a tool that you can call upon to help you in different aspects of your life. When your relationship is suffering, go to gratitude. When you're tossing and turning, you can't sleep at night, try gratitude. There's just so many different benefits, and I encourage you guys to just Google it and take a look for yourself. Don't take my word for it. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychologist, so by all means do your own research. But that's part of what I do each morning, is when I found something on topic that may be beneficial to you guys, I want to bring it forward and at least raise the topic so you have the opportunity to do a little bit more research yourself. So far we've talked about what gratitude is, and we've talked about the benefits of gratitude, which is my favorite part, the benefits. But it is important for us to look at the other side of the scale. And I want to talk for the rest of our time together. We'll talk about what gratitude is not. Gratitude is not a substitute for your real emotions. You still feel your feelings, and you make sure that your feelings, because they're a part of our internal warning system. When you start to feel uncomfortable, if you start to get angry, something is going on that you need to pay attention to. So even though you have a mindset of gratitude, you don't use that to suppress or ignore the actual feelings that you have from time to time. Those feelings are there for a reason. They were divinely given to us, and they're saying, hey, something's wrong here. Something's going off the rails. Something doesn't feel good to you. And and I don't want you to just go, yeah, that was really mean what she said, but I am so grateful for this and this and this and this. And you totally ignore the situation. Gratitude is not a substitute for what's going on in reality. So something is going on. Either the situation in and of itself is bad. Someone's mistreated you, mishandled you in some sort of a way. So you're upset about that. Or maybe you're processing something that someone said badly. So something is off. And if you don't allow yourself to experience that, and you don't feel your feelings, if you go directly to gratitude and skip over the reality, then you don't have the opportunity to adjust the situation. You don't have an opportunity to learn from it. Maybe I just took her wrong. Maybe because of what I was thinking about in my past, when she said that, I didn't just respond to what she said, but I had all this other stuff that came up as well. We don't want to do that, but we'll continue to do it if we don't spend a little time and think about why we're feeling what we're feeling. So your feelings are important. They're real. Never push them away. Never try to ignore them. Sit in them for a minute and actually think about, why did that trigger me the way that it did? Because that feeling has a purpose, and there's something that it will teach you if you allow it to. So sit with your feelings, honor your feelings, and then question what's behind those feelings. Why did I get so upset when she said this or that? I gave an example quite a few weeks ago. It was my son's birthday, so that must have been in December. Well, it's definitely in December. He's born December 3rd. And we had gone out. It was just me, my husband, and our son, who had turned 19. We had gone to this virtual reality place and had a great time. And right around the corner from there was this really good pizza place. So we decided we were going to stop and have some pizza after virtual reality. And in the VR place, if you know me and my background, like Karen, I see you're on, my mother is on. We can be some scary folks, y'all. The anxiety can really get worked up, and before you know it, we are just in a bad headspace. And I felt that in the virtual reality place. So it got really dark. I mean, you couldn't see a thing. And then you've got the VR glasses on, and then you kind of see a grid. And I'm standing next to my husband, and I'm feeling for him. And I put my hand on his shoulder, and I was like, I'm really not liking this. And when we were doing one of the zombie things. And so I am thinking about the fact that these zombies, even though at 54 years old, I know they're not real. my brain was not processing reality. The anxiety, the feelings, the emotions, that angst was driving my behavior much more than the reality of me being safe. That at any point in time, I could take the glasses off. If I wanted to, I could walk out of the room. All those facts gone. They were not penetrating. I was just an emotional being in that moment. And all I wanted was my husband to stay close and to realize that his wife is close to a meltdown. She's in a really uncomfortable situation. So I'm feeling for his shoulder. I put my hand on him, and it's kind of loud in there. There's other people, and he is giddy. He and my son are just the opposite of me. Those situations where there's a little bit of anxiety, it could be a roller coaster. It doesn't matter. They're excited, they're having a good time, they're laughing, and then you've got me over here like this, just about to lose it. So I have my hand on his shoulder, and I keep saying to him, don't go too far. Y'all, it's just a little room. He couldn't go too far. There was very little space within there, and you had a grid. If you've ever done VR, there's a grid that tells that you can't go past, because if you do, you actually end up bumping into a wall or something that could hurt you. So you have to stay within this little perimeter that's highlighted for you when you have the glasses on. So when I look back on it, there was zero danger whatsoever. But in that moment, I just couldn't get to that. I was so anxious thinking about these zombie things. I don't do scary movies. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't like it. So I've got my hand on him, and I'm like, I'm really stressing out. So kind of stay close. And I'm trying to communicate to him, I need a little support here. I am not doing well. That's what, and he stayed close to a certain extent. He heard me, but he's really having a good time. He and my son, and they're not even worried about me over in the corner having my little meltdown. We get through it. It ends up being a lot of fun. We go to the pizza place. A few minutes later, the waitress is taking our order. And Cheryl, stop laughing at me. I was a nervous wreck. And she's taking our pizza order. And I can't remember exactly what the phrase was now, but she said something about her anxiety. She was taking stuff off the table just as quickly as we were finishing with it. That's what it was. And so, and then she says, yeah, just having stuff out of order and having the clean stuff, the dirty stuff around just really drives my anxiety. So I keep cleaning the tables as I go. It just helps me to stay calm. I'm the same way at home. And my husband pops up and he says, oh, well, if you're feeling anxious, let me give you this and this and this. And he starts to, he's laughing, and he has the best personality. He makes friends everywhere we go. And so he's just being his normal self. He starts to grab extra stuff off the table and hand it to her, but basically what he's saying is, oh, if you're being anxious, if you're feeling uncomfortable, let me do something about it. That was the first look he got from me. Oh, really? I'm in this. So my brain immediately clicks. Sir, 10 minutes ago, your wife was super anxious and trying to get your attention, and you were all over the place. But now some perfect stranger comes along and uses the exact same word that I did, and now you want to be responsive? Y'all, I snapped. I did. I let him have it before the day was over. And he's looking at me like, woman, what is wrong with you? I'm just helping her clean off the table. And that's exactly what he was doing. I'm just helping her clean off the table. I'm just being nice. I am just being me. The same person that I've seen him be for almost 30 years is who was in front of me in that moment. But because of how I processed that information in that moment, none of that was what was coming to the forefront. What I saw was my feelings being ignored just a little while ago. And now here this stranger comes along and you're all in and ready to provide support. Oh, let's go. It's fighting time. I'm mad. And I just had a little meltdown on him, told him where I thought the rubber met the road, and let him have it. And in that moment, I felt perfectly justified. And he is looking at me like, who just showed up and took over my wife's body, because I'm not understanding what's happening. My mom said, poor Tim. Yes, and my mom is so in love with this dude. So, it's been her son-in-law for almost 24 years. So she's going to take his side more than she took mine. But she's right. In that situation, he really didn't do anything wrong. And I was just so frustrated that that's the only way that's how I processed it. So what did that mean? After I calmed down, we got home. He went to his neutral corner, I went to mine, and I'm spinning in my head, all self-righteous. No, he didn't. Oh, so now the waitress's emotions are more important than mine. So I've got all this going on in my head, and eventually, though, I start to calm down. And what happens when you calm down? Reality starts to set in, and you start to see things a little bit differently. And I started going, oh, wait, what he did is indicative of what he would always do. So, what was different in that situation? Why did I get so frustrated today when tomorrow, if he did the exact same thing, I wouldn't have that emotion? I wouldn't be so upset. And so I had to dig in. I had to figure out where those emotions were coming from so that I could take the right course of action next. And you probably know what that is. I had to apologize. And not only did I apologize, but I explained to him, where that was coming from, and that I brought a whole bunch of stuff into that situation that wasn't a part of what was happening in reality. And I apologized to him for that. And I tried to explain it so we both understood it, so that I could handle it better in the future. And he might be a little bit more tuned in when I'm starting to spiral, and I'm looking to him to be my support system. So I'll try to be transparent and share that moment with you guys, because it blew up so quickly. It became such a big deal. Yes, I apologize. I did. That's my mom. Did you apologize? Stay with me, woman. Stay on my side. I apologized to your son in love. Yes, I did, because it was the only right thing to do, because I was mistreating him in that moment based on some bad emotions, some bad processing that I had going on. So, had I just said what I was grateful for, if I had just focused on gratitude and trying to get to positive emotions, it could have calmed me down. It could have calmed the situation down. And I may have still even apologized, but I wouldn't have understood why I got all crazy in the first place, why I was so emotionally spinning in the first place. It's important for us to learn about our emotions and to learn from our emotions, because I take that with me now, and I'm more likely, when I'm getting spun up, to start to think about what's going on with me. What's happening on the inside? Why am I starting to feel this way? And I may have a different conversation. I may start to say something now. Ooh, I'm starting to feel a little uncomfortable here. I'm starting to get upset, and I'm not exactly sure why, but let's take a minute. I will try to curve it, because I don't want to come unglued like I did that day. I don't want that to be the norm. I don't want that to become a regular practice. So I use that situation. I remember that situation to help me build better coping skills, to help me build better communication skills, and to help me get in tune with what's going on with me. Because 99% of the time when we're spiraling, it's because of the story that we're telling ourselves about what's going on. It's about what's going on in our head a lot more than about excuse me, about the reality. So I'm sorry that you still don't have the option to send stars, mother. Just send love. Send me some hearts. I know you love me. The stars are okay. I love them when I get them, but don't worry about it. It is okay. So gratitude is not a substitute for real emotions. Feel your feelings, learn from your feelings, and process through them so that you can better manage them and similar situations in the future. So I know that was a long drawn out story to get to that point, but it will help you keep your emotions under control and make good informed decisions. Good morning. All right. So what else is gratitude not? It's not an excuse for bad behavior, right? So in that situation, if my husband was processing from a place of gratitude, and he was saying, you know what, she's tripping right now, but in the grand scheme of things, our relationship is more good than bad. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for this and that and the other. If he was processing from a place of gratitude, that would help him cope with the situation, but it still wouldn't have excused my bad behavior. There was still some wrongdoing, and he would still have the right to call me on that. He would still have the right to want to have a conversation about what's going on. He may be able to handle the conversation better. He may be able to have a more calm conversation with me and not do what people are always talking about, matching energy. Let me tell y'all something. I am not an energy matcher, because if I'm matching your energy, then I am giving you control over mine, and you don't get that. That's what the work is about, controlling your own energy. I'm an energy setter. If you want to match my energy, then you're going to be vibrating at a higher level. You're going to learn how to communicate. Yes, I'm going to get it wrong sometimes, like that example I used back in December. But if you hear somebody talking about matching energy, that's not what it's about. It is about your energy and you being in control and you showing up as the person that you would like to be, the highest form of yourself, not letting someone degrade that, not having somebody drag you down with them. If their energy is bad, the best thing you can do is disconnect from it, not add to it by pouring in more bad energy of your own. Step away from it. I don't want your bad energy. I'm not interested at all. I'm not matching it. If I can't change it, if I can't set the tone for the energy in that situation, then it's time for me to go. So don't be energy matchers, folks. Be energy setters. Your energy, let it be so high that you can't do anything but raise the vibration in the room and make it better for everybody. And when you have those times when you fall off the wagon, like I did back in December, and your energy is wrong, acknowledge that, apologize for that, figure out why you behave the way you did, grow, learn, and keep going. You let it go. You're not going to beat yourself up. I'm not beating myself up for December because I learned something from it. And I also processed it afterwards. I did the right thing. I apologized and gave my husband what he needed, what he deserved in that moment, an understanding of what was going on, and a sincere apology for mishandling him. So I don't have to have any bad feelings about it. I did at the beginning. I was like, oh Lord, I'm about to mess up. We just had such a great day with the kiddo, and now I'm messing the whole thing up because I'm coming out of pocket. That was all true, but we learned from it. The relationship grew from it because he got what he needed. I was able to explain to him what I needed earlier in the day that I didn't give. And we both have the opportunity to manage each other and our relationship better going forward. So gratitude on either person's part is not an excuse for bad behavior. And gratitude is not an excuse to walk around with blinders on. Yes, we want to focus on the good. We do. It helps us. It helps us sleep better. It helps our blood pressure. It helps our immune system. It deepens our relationships. We've talked about all the benefits of having a grateful heart and moving through life with an attitude of gratitude. That is important. But it does not mean that you have blinders on and you miss patterns in behavior. So I may keep saying I'm grateful for a relationship. I'm grateful to have somebody in my life. But if that person is showing me a pattern of bad behavior, if they consistently mishandle me, if I had continued to mistreat my husband in that situation, or if I continued to feel unsupported by him, if there were more situations that weren't as extreme as the zombies, because that's my own internal good stuff. But if I would continue to be in a relationship where I was not getting the support that I needed emotionally or otherwise, I need to be able to see that pattern. I need to be able to articulate what my needs are, what I'm not getting, and either the situation changes or it doesn't. So I don't want gratitude to be an excuse to stay in a bad situation. I don't want gratitude to be a reason that you don't confront and have conversations when things are not going well. Gratitude will just help you get through it. Gratitude will help you from being so caught up in your emotions that you manage the situations badly. But it's not a excuse for whatever the behavior is that's happening that got you to those emotions in the first place. So gratitude is a practice that you want to have in conjunction with the work that's necessary to improve a situation. It's not something that's just in a silo and that's all it is. It's gratitude or nothing. If you're in a difficult situation or a bad relationship or things are going wrong at work, there's work that needs to be done to improve those situations, or you'll find out that they can't be improved. So you need to change, move away from those situations. Your gratitude is still there. You're looking at parts of your life that are going well. You may even see things in that situation that are going well, but you have to fix whatever it is that's causing you the angst, the bad emotions, whatever the case may be, the discomfort. You still have to work on that. So it's in conjunction with the work that you're doing. People can be in therapy for quite some time. A good example of that, I see my therapist every Friday, like clockwork. I will miss other things before I miss my session with my therapist, because that allows me to keep connecting to myself, to understand what's going on with me, to have a safe place to work through some negative emotions that I may be feeling and not skilled enough to work through on my own. It's a place for me to just dump and diffuse and get better understanding. So it's a sacred place for me. I hold on to that. It's rare that I don't do it, but I still practice gratitude. But I do it in conjunction with working on me and getting better at being me. And so that's the message for today: is gratitude is wonderful. Gratitude is a mindset that will help you not only physically, emotionally, spiritually. It permeates our bodies and it gives us support and help at all the different layers. But in isolation, it can help you in a way that you don't want. It will keep you from seeing the patterns. It'll keep you from dealing with your emotions, and that's what we don't want to do. Gratitude and isolation is not it. It's combining it with the work that you're already doing. It's combining it with the life that you're creating for yourself, and it'll smooth out some of the rough edges, make it a little bit easier for you to get through the things that you're trying to get through. But you won't ignore them. You'll do the work necessary to improve those. All right. So thank you guys for hanging in this morning. I know it went a little long again, but I am Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker. And I'm here most mornings at 7 a.m. My schedule may change a little bit next week. I think Tuesday through Friday, I'll be at 7 a.m. And now on Mondays, I will end up being on at noon, because I think my work schedule is about to change. But I always put it out early so you know what time to catch me. And I appreciate you. I'm starting to see the same faces, the same names, at least over and over again. So I appreciate you returning. I appreciate you engaging. It's how I start my day. This is a part of my daily practice, and it means a lot to me that you're sharing it with me. If there's things that you guys want me to touch on, you can leave me messages. You can leave them out on any of the lives, or you can DM me. If you're catching this after the live is over, please hashtag replay and leave your comments, and I'll come back and I will respond to them just as quickly as I can. But that is it for today. I do want to remind you, if you guys are working on your mindset, if you're working on your inner critic, especially those on Facebook, you can see right here in this live, I have a comment pinned at the top. That's a link to my free online course that's called Transforming Your Inner Critic into Your Inner Advocate. That's kind of an introduction to all of the things that we talk about here. It gives you the opportunity to practice those skills and incorporate them into your life. Take the course. Give me some feedback. I would love to hear from you guys on how things are going. And we will be back tomorrow for Focus Friday. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow. And I look forward to your comments. Bye, everybody.